This has been a great process. This interview is great, and I don't know what this is about, but I'm guessing we're all going to build something really cool together, and that's kind of why we're in EO. It's why we're at the Global Leadership Conference, and looking forward to see what this turns out to be, as well as the conference.
Awesome. Thanks.
Take talk. Let's talk. This is the Miten Shah Show. We've asked the same 7 questions to entrepreneurs from all over the world to figure out what makes us tick. Take talk. Let's talk.
So, welcome everybody. If you can introduce yourself and tell us what you do, please.
Yeah, so my name is Mike Scott. I'm the CEO of a company called Nona. To an adult, I'd describe it as a software development company with a focus on fintech and blockchain. To a 7-year-old kid, I would describe it as, you know those things that you see on your phone and on the computer? We build those things.
Wow, nice. What got you started on building those things?
So my previous business was a more traditional tech support business. So fixing computers, setting up networks, setting up domains, the infrastructure layer. And through that, there were a lot of requests to build software. We couldn't do it. So we looked at it, we saw an opportunity. There were a lot of people doing it. There were very few people doing it very well. And it grew from there. That was 7 years ago for this business.
So in these 7 years, what has kept you up at night and what makes you jump out of bed in the morning?
Yeah, so what's kept me up? Cash flow. You know, I'll be surprised if not everyone sitting in this seat says that as one of the things that keep them up. So in our particular business, we've got very, very expensive employees because we hire software developers at a very high caliber and they're very expensive. And balancing that with, not so much now, but especially in the earlier years, just with revenue and bigger contracts, cash flow has definitely been the only thing I really stress about in business. The rest of the things I kind of see as challenges. Cash flow I see as real stress. What gets me out of the bed in the morning is our purpose. And depending on who I'm talking to, I either say, let's build amazing shit together, or let's build amazing things together. But that's absolutely it. We have an amazing team, our clients are amazing, and everything we do is in service of making amazing stuff together. That's what keeps us going. It's what makes us work hard. It's everything about our purpose is building amazing stuff.
Yeah, amazing. What are some of the mistakes that you've made that others can learn from?
Okay, so the first one is quite boring but very important. We took too long to get a heavy hitter financial guy. So we have a financial director now who's really excellent. He's ex-KPMG, top of his class type guy. We're very lucky to have him because most of those guys wouldn't want to work in a business like ours. They want to work in corporate. But having that real, proper financial acumen and control actually changed our business. And I never thought it would. I was very arrogant and I thought I could do it. I can't. And there's a point in your business at which
Can we dive in a little bit deeper? Yeah. Like, how did it make such a big difference?
The entire financial control system, and maybe financial control is not the right word, but just because he's a finance guy, primarily that I use that term. So structuring contracts correctly, structuring your P&L correctly, structuring your financing agreements correctly, structuring deals from a commercial perspective, not necessarily negotiating perspective correctly, weathering cash flow storms and understanding really what to do on the long term with that kind of stuff. That advanced acumen really helped us a lot, and I didn't actually realize how much of my time and energy was being spent doing that, when I shouldn't really be doing that as a CEO of a business. I need to be doing other things, working on the strategy, working on the culture, getting bigger deals into the business. The other one is we took too long to get real clarity on our values and purpose. In the early days, I kind of thought those were, bullshit things that you write on the wall and sort of scratch around in a file cabinet and look at them once a year. Then we started really working on them. And it took us 5 years to get to our 5 values and our core purpose. And once we did, and we believed in them, and we spent the time, which was a hell of a thing to get through those, to get to the values and understand what they are, it's changed our business. It's helped our culture, our hiring, our firing. Everything that we do is around our 5 values now. They're real. Our team gets evaluated on them. It's how we interview, it's how we fire. And it's absolutely created the cohesion that we have in the business.
That's your definition of amazing, probably, those 5 values.
Yeah. It's how we get to amazing. To give you an example, one of them is continuous improvement as a way of life. Mm-hmm. So when we're interviewing, we make sure that there are signs to show that this person doesn't buy into our value, but actually exhibits that value. We want to know what they're doing outside of work time. We want to see that it's really important to them to continuously improve. And if it's not, that's cool. It's unlikely you're going to be a fit at Nona. So values and core purpose are really important, and it's a difficult thing to do because it's not about just writing some cool words that you want to aspire to. It's about going through a process of understanding what exists in your business and what makes you special or not. So the last one is the recruitment and hiring process. We made a string of very bad hires a few years ago that nearly cost us the business. It cost us millions of rands. That's the South African currency.
What are some of the instances that you've been really proud, happy, and satisfied about?
Is that we're running a business basically across the world that is largely remote now. So we have an office, a really nice office. It's our headquarters, but you don't really have to go there. In our current sprint cycle, if you're a developer or a designer, you need to be in the office once every second Friday, I think it is, and I think on Tuesdays. And that's really just around learning time that's dedicated. What I'm proud about is that we've created a business that can be run largely remotely. I'm living in Australia. Most of my company is based in Cape Town. I've got a partner at the moment who's in Spain. I've got another 2 or 3 clients that I think are in Germany, Canada, and I don't even know where respectively. You wouldn't even know that dealing with us. And these are full-time employed people. These are not outsourced resources. These are part of our culture. These are people that we love and are integrated in. And it's taken us a long time to get that right. We service, so I'm very proud of that because it's created freedoms for me and for a lot of our staff, which are very difficult to create. And I also think we've future-proofed some elements of our business, because I think if you hire somebody in 10 years' time that's coming out of high school, they're going to be like, what? I've got to sit in an office for 8? No ways, I'm not taking the job. So very proud of this remote culture that we've established. It's by no means perfect, but we certainly have done very well in that regard. And our team is a world-class set of skills, but more importantly, they are people that I choose to spend time with, and we enjoy hanging out together. They are good humans, they are ethical people, they are incredibly positive and constructive people, and the team that we've created together is by far, that's where all the value sits. That's what Nona is the people.
The Tim Ferriss question: if you had a billboard and you could put on any message, what would that message be?
So it's a cliche, and I'll be surprised if I'm not the only one that says this, but very powerful words in my life have been, "This too shall pass." And that's in a positive and a negative sense. I think in the negative sense, when things are down, when the chips are down, as an entrepreneur, when your back's against the wall, it's easy to understand that. I'm not going to explain that. That's pretty self-explanatory. But I think as importantly, when things are good, when you're at the top of the wave, when everything's going well, I personally have to consistently remind myself of this. When things are bad, everything is impermanent. Everything will change. Every emotion, every situation in business, in life, it will change. When it's bad, it could get worse, but it'll probably get better. But equally as importantly, when it's really good, don't get arrogant. Don't get cocky. Don't get complacent. Don't stop, because this too shall pass. And for me, I don't like tattoos, but if I did, that would be what I would get on me, would be "this too shall pass," just to constantly remind me that everything is impermanent. Yeah. It's a great question.
That's deep. That's thanks to Tim Ferriss, though. And that's one of his questions I really enjoy.
Yeah, it's fantastic. I'm just getting my notes up again. Sorry.
How has EO made the biggest difference in your personal, family, community, or business life?
Yeah. So in business, and community, I guess it was surprising the difference it made, and the difference it made is that I'm a very unstructured person. I'm very, I'll kind of do things, shoot first, ask questions later, figure it out, typical kind of entrepreneur type. And I find myself after a couple of years in Forum being an absolute stickler for process and order in proven things. When I joined Forum, I was like, I'm never going to stick to this. This is nonsense. I'll rock up, etc. Now I find myself like I'm the guy going, listen, guys, we're out of the structure. Let's keep it to the structure. We've agreed to this. We've agreed to that. And I think what it's done is it's given me the knowledge, wisdom actually. I've learned from people in Forum. I've learned from EO that the value in this stuff is in the process. It's in the discipline. And this is completely against who I am. This is not in my nature to think like this. So that deep discipline of structure, of once you believe in something, sticking to it, has been immensely valuable for me, my business, my personal life, in fitness and health and family. That structure and discipline, it's brought that to my life, and everywhere else has failed. School failed, all the figures of authority failed with me. Somehow it's happened through EO, which is amazing. In my community, I've just moved to Australia. I didn't know one single person in the city that I'm living in Adelaide. Side note, I don't think it's appropriate to make friends through EO. A lot of people don't agree with me on that. I think you can have very deep connections. I don't want to make friends through EO. However, the people that are in EO and my forum, I trust them, and they're probably some of the closest people, but they're not friends. EO has massively helped me establish that network, that sort of support structure in a new city, which is amazing. Of course, you've got to give, but you get back a lot more than you give. So that side of things has been really amazing to me. And I think it's I struggle to connect deeply with people, and I think EO has given me a kind of sense of belonging that is quite difficult for me to accept. It's a sense of peers, it's a sense of sharing, not just the good stuff, often the bad stuff. And I think it's given me a sense of perspective as well. You know, I've had forum buddies who can put multiple zeros on the end of their net asset value compared to mine, but they're going through the same stuff, and our problems are the same as people. They might have more zeros on the end or less zeros, but they're the same problems. We're just going through this together. So that sense of I'm not alone in this is also deeply valuable to me.
Yeah. Awesome. So we're not alone in this in Macau, and
yeah,
hopefully you enjoy also the next couple of days here.
Yeah, cool. Thanks so much.
Thanks a lot. Thank
Good
you.
to talk.
Likewise.
Yeah.